I'm going to make a honey bun cake. I seen this on my little sister's timeline on Facebook. And somebody said something about having one and said it was really good. And I think she had one, but every one of them I've seen is made with box cake, and I'm going to make mine from scratch. So let me get all my ingredients together, and I'll come back to you. I have told y'all before, or the people who follow me before, if your eggs are not ready or you want to make a recipe and they're in the refrigerator, put them in warm water, let them sit and get the chill off of them. And you just have to put your butter in the microwave on defrost and it'll be good. Okay, I'm going to read y'all off the recipe before I start creaming my butter and my sugar together. There's 3 different parts to this cake. That's the cake, the cinnamon swirl, and the icing or the glaze. And the cake calls for 1 cup of softened butter, 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of sour cream, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of salt, and 4 eggs. The swirl consists of a half a cup of light brown sugar and a tablespoon of cinnamon. The glaze calls for 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of milk, and a teaspoon of vanilla. What you're going to do is you're going to preheat your oven to 325, and it's going to be done in a bundt pan. I haven't greased that yet. But you want to cream your sugar, and so go ahead and grease and flour your bundt pan. And you're going to cream your butter and sugar until light and fluffy. You're going to add your eggs one at a time, beating well after each egg. You're going to stir in your sour cream and your vanilla. And then in a separate bowl, you're going to whisk together your flour, your baking soda, your baking powder, and your salt. You'll gradually add your dry ingredients into the wet ingredients until just combined. Do not overmix. And for your swirl, you will, in a small bowl, mix the brown sugar and the cinnamon. Once you get that done, you will take half of your batter. You will pour that into your bundt pan. Once you get that into your bundt pan, you will take your cinnamon and brown sugar mixture and you will place that on top of it. I'm going to spoon it on. Then you will take the rest of your batter, put that on top, and you'll take a knife and you'll want to swirl it through for a marbling effect, really. And, well, I got ahead of myself. Carefully spread the remaining cake batter over the cinnamon and sugar mixture. Use a knife to gently swirl the cinnamon sugar mixture into the batter for a marbled effect. Bake 60 to 70 minutes until you can insert a toothpick and it comes out clean. Allow your cake to cool for 15 minutes. Invert it onto a wire rack and then cool it completely. Then your glaze in a bowl, you will whisk together your powdered sugar, your milk, and your vanilla until it's smooth, and you'll drizzle it over the cooled cake, letting it cascade down the sides. And so if you missed anything, I will go back over that as I'm making my cake. But right now, I'm going to start creaming my butter and my 2 cups of sugar. While my butter and my sugar are mixing, I have combined my flour, my baking soda, my baking powder, and my salt. All dry ingredients, and I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to get my pan ready real quick. Okay, I've got my sugar and my butter, and it's really light and fluffy. And now I'm going to add 1 egg at a time. I pop my eggs in a bowl so that I know I don't have any shell in them, and I will just pour it in there one at a time until well combined. Two. 3. I'll turn it down so I don't get it everywhere. I've mopped my floor 500 times. And 4. It says a tablespoon of vanilla extract, so I'm going to get a tablespoon measure. And now I'm going to add my sour cream. I'm going to turn it off to do that. And then I will push everything down on the sides. I did sift my flour. The recipe did not say to, but I did. I put my guard on my mixer. Ugh. Hoping it will help me from not making a mess, but we shall see. Now I'm going to add my dry ingredients to all my wet ingredients. I'm still going to manage to make a mess. I know I am. Once I get this mixed up, I'll come back. I have my cake batter mixed up, and I've got 1/2 cup of packed light brown sugar and a tablespoon of cinnamon in this bowl, and I'm going to mix it up. If you want to add more to it, feel free, so that you'll have plenty of this deliciousness in your cake. I did. I didn't add more cinnamon, but I did add just a tad more brown sugar. And I'm going to get it mixed up really well. I hope y'all are not freezing to death, because it has been cold here. And I want it to get warm again. Give me the 70-degree weather. I will take it. And I complain that I want it to be wintertime. Well, hell, it is wintertime, and I want it to be summertime again. I've had a cold, so it's probably best that my surgery was called off, because I don't want to be sneezing or coughing with an incision in my stomach from one hip bone to the other. So, okay, I've got this pretty mixed up. Let me show you the consistency. I don't want to spill it. But as you mix it, you'll know. Get all the big pieces of brown sugar out of it, and just, you'll know. Okay, now I'm going to put half my cake mix in my bundt pan. And I used the biggest bundt pan I had because I didn't want it to cook over. My oven's ready. I'm going to have to reset it, but at least it's ready. Okay, let me get this ready, and I'll show you how to do the rest of it. I'm going to use a big spoon to spoon my cake mix in there, because I don't want to make a mess, which I probably will anyways, because if I don't make a mess, it don't seem like it's any good. Okay, I've got half of that in there, half the batter in the bundt pan. Now I'm going to spoon my cinnamon and my brown sugar over top of that. And I'm going to try to get it as evenly distributed as possible. It's a good, nice amount too, so you shouldn't need more. Okay, now I'm going to put the rest of my cake batter on top of that. Okay, I have put the rest of my batter on top of my cinnamon and brown sugar mix, and I've spread it very carefully so that I wouldn't mix my cinnamon and brown sugar up. And that's what it looks like. And now I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to swirl it through to give it the marbling effect. I'm trying not to hit the bottom of the cake pan. Because I don't want to disrupt the flour and the, well, my spray. Some people use flour and grease. I use Pam or Baker's Joy. And like I said, this will cook for 60 to 70 minutes until you can put a toothpick in it and it comes out clean. Okay. My hands are clean. I've been washing dishes. I had to taste it. I'm going to put it in the oven. When it comes out, I'll show it to you. It's been in for 68 minutes. So I'm going to take it out. I did have to place a piece of aluminum over it so that it wouldn't burn because it was getting brown. Let me insert this. It's done. I'm going to let it cool for 15 minutes, invert it, and then I'll be back. Okay. Let's make sure my cake didn't stick. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You can see the cinnamon in the middle of it. Let's see if I can show it to you. You can see it there. Whoa. I did that one time with vanilla wafer cake and dropped it. Okay, now I've got to let it completely cool. And I've got my powdered sugar out, and I will make that once it's cool and come back and put it together for you. I'm going to mix my glaze for my cake. Let me lower y'all down here a little bit so you can see. I've got my 1/4 cup of milk. I've got my 2 cups of powdered sugar and my teaspoon of vanilla extract. And first I'm going to put my vanilla extract in it. And then my milk. I should have used a smaller bowl, but I didn't. Okay, let me get my cake out. Okay, here we go. I've got a pretty deep spoon to do this with. I want to try to make sure that if it does go over, I don't let it go over my sides. I'd rather it go into the middle. my husband was not happy that I was making this cake. And I said, well, you don't have to eat it. He wanted me to make one of the jam. His favorite is the maple syrup. But I promise he'll like this. I don't think I've made anything he didn't like. Yep, it's going over right there. It's probably still warm. I've made a mess, and I'll clean it up. And let me cut it. I'm going to use a paper plate. I don't want a big piece. Just want a little piece. That's what it looks like. I missed to clean up. They'll like it. I would like to thank all my new subscribers. If you have not yet hit that subscribe button, please do. Thank you for joining me. And come back to see me. Y'all have a wonderful evening and stay warm.